pleasure to welcome everyone here to Free Level. This is a remarkable project, and it started with conversations with James Franco about 2 years ago. Some of you know the story already. James had a simple but radical idea. Why not take a role in General Hospital, the most middle-brow of soap operas, something that a vanguard actor like James never does, and then take a step further and move the whole set of General Hospital into an art gallery. Well, I thought it was an intriguing idea, and when I still had an art gallery in New York, James, let's do it, let's put it all together. Not really addressing how impractical it would be and the immense costs of bringing all the cameras and sets of General Hospital across the country to New York. But when I came here to Moca, we revised the idea. I still did something astonishing, but something we could actually do. And James, with a charismatic, convincing attitude, convinced the producers of General Hospital to move their entire set to the plaza in front of Moca Pacific Design Center. And an episode of General Hospital featuring James playing the role of Franco the artist took place at the museum. So that's how the discussion with James began. And James began talking also about his interest in remixing the greatest story of the Hollywood myth, Rebel Without a Cause. And Rebel Without a Cause is almost like a biblical story for us. It's so much of our culture comes out of that film, those actors and actresses, the stories all around it. And we encouraged James to run with it, and that we wanted to be involved with the presentation in Los Angeles. Introduce one of the most extraordinary figures in contemporary American art, cinema, literature, James Franco.
Thanks, Jeffrey, and yeah, thanks to Moca for sponsoring this. And they don't want to hear from me. We have like the best artists, contemporary artists alive here, so I'll just talk about how some of the early ideas came about. I played James Dean in like 2000. I'd been a James Dean fan. He'd been a model for me and as an actor, and so I played him in a biopic, and it was a very it was a traditional biopic. It was an earnest portrayal of James Dean's life. And after that, I'd read all the biographies, and then after that, a book came out about the making of Rebel Without a Cause. And I'd heard a lot of the stories before. When I played James Dean, I talked to everybody that was alive that had been his friend, including Dennis Hopper and all the cast of Rebel Without a Cause that was alive, and Martin Landau, everyone that knew him. And so I knew a lot of the stories, but once I saw them all together, I thought, well, there's so much more in this film and also behind the scenes of this film that hasn't been touched on. In a lot of ways over the past 50 years, this film has been mined in, superficial ways. You can see storylines or certain forms of teen rebellion, echoing in every, new generation's, movies, but that there was still something underneath that hadn't been mined, and so that led to the early idea of just, conventional idea of just making a film about the making of Rebel Without a Cause. But I quickly thought, well, that'll be a little too precious. That will, the original film really struck a chord. It was something that was new.
Yeah.